Hey there, and welcome to Visionary Voices, a special series brought to you by Women Business Connect. This is where we sit with inspiring women in business, entrepreneurs, change makers, and visionaries who are doing incredible things with their heart, purpose, and impact. At Women Business Connect, we're all about meaningful connection, collaboration, and creating a space where women rise together. This is Women Business Connect. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we have with us Rosemary O'Shaughnessy, who is a certified LinkedIn insider and a recognized LinkedIn expert featured in Influence Digest with 1 million plus readers. She empowers women in business, service providers, coaches, and small business owners to stand out on LinkedIn, attract ideal clients, and grow their revenue without wasting time on guesswork. With a passion for inclusive visibility, Rosemary also helps dyslexic professionals use their strengths and build confidence on LinkedIn. Her proven strategies are practical, results driven, and tailored to real business needs because LinkedIn should work for you. Hello, Rosemary. How are you today?
Hi, Hannah, and thank you very much for having me here. And I'm delighted to be on your podcast.
I'm sure our listeners will be delighted as well as your topic is so much important for all of us business owners. So, um, could you just share with us, was there a turning point that changed everything in your business?
Yeah, I think the thing that strikes me is two things, is simplicity and clarity. Because when in my sector, there's an awful lot of things, distractions. And initially, I learned social media, then I learned how to do websites, and then I just hit LinkedIn. I absolutely loved it because it just made a lot of sense to me.
Mm.
And then you see, the simpler you make your offer, the easier it is for people to understand what you do. And then that instills confidence, and then that makes it easier to get business. So keep it simple. Don't try to do offer too much. And then obviously you become better at what you do because you're not trying to deal with all the moving parts. um, and that also makes a big difference in your business if we become experts as much as possible.
I really like that, when we make it simple, um, especially when there's all so many different platforms there. How do we make things simple for our business, right? So
Yeah.
let's go into the vision of it. So, how do you stay aligned with your vision during difficult times in your business?
Yeah, I think, look, all of us have difficult times. Now, I actually think it's very important if we have a balance of our personal life as well as our business life. Because if, say, you have a bad day of work or something more serious going on, if we're just looking at computers and all, we're not giving anything to give us that resilience to deal with things. So I would say, number one, we all have different ways of things. You have a very, very clear vision, what is important. And it's so clear you can touch it, you can feel it, you can use all your senses. It is that strong. So when things are difficult, and they are difficult for us, or your family's sick, whatever, you know you have to deal with all those issues. They're part of life. But it makes it easier to balance it. And also, when you're under stressful times or difficult times, I find you need to block some time for some the special things because that'll help you deal with the bad things when they happen. So again, I would say have structure and remember we're human beings. We're not bots. There's our spiritual side. There is our business side. there's our health, there's well-being. And if any of those parts of it aren't looked after, then obviously we don't have the resilience to deal with things when things are difficult. And difficult things can happen very unexpectedly. You think everything's going great, and then wham, something happens that isn't so great. But I think we all need practices all the time that helps us build that resilience. So when the bad things happen, we can deal with it and we can delegate. Like I had one, I think it was in January, which was very unexpected. I live in Ireland and we had a storm. A fifth of the population were without electricity.
Mhm.
And as running a business, no electricity. Um, Now that was not, but the point is, by having learned resilience, I learned to be calm. And that situation, you need to be calm. And because I was able to be calm, then I was able to work out a plan which covered me for 8 days without electricity, and I kept everything running. Now, how that plan or how that worked out, I was very blessed. We have an enterprise board, and I was able to use their offices, which was great. But if I hadn't been calm, that situation would have been very, very difficult because I had work organized. I couldn't even, no electricity, no internet. You couldn't even contact people to say in that situation. So I think that's very important that we can keep calm as well.
I think from what you actually shared, um, two things came up for me. I think number one, obviously, you said resilience, and number two is actually your resources, right? The community that you have.
Yeah.
Actually, the support is so important during difficult times.
Oh, yeah, because at that time, the enterprise board is meant to be just business,
Mm-hmm.
but we were able to eat there. There's a microwave. It was very exciting. We could actually eat, have a cup of tea, talk to each other because everyone was going through all of these things and trying to. So agree, which is so much so about community. Community makes all the difference in situations. And in the business community, like you and me, we
Mm-hmm.
support each other,
Yep.
which is very important.
Yes, definitely. So let's go into the expertise. What is, tell me more about your area of expertise and why is it important in today's business world?
Okay. What I specialize in is LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
And why does LinkedIn matter if you run a business? It is the biggest business platform. Okay. Now, there'll be people who say, I was on LinkedIn and it didn't work. Like everything, it's how you use it. You have to understand how to use it. And it's not just clicking a connection, never talking to somebody, because that doesn't translate into business. For example, when you and me connected, I actually sent you a connection request and I explained why I thought we should connect with
Okay.
each other. You read the request and said, yeah, and you looked at my profile and decided, yeah, that makes sense. So, number one, for business, why it's important is business people are there and we obviously need to do business. But like everything, you need to understand how to use it to get results. And also, if you don't understand how to use it, it's like Google. If you, in the old days, if you weren't using SEO, your website wouldn't be found. LinkedIn, if you don't know how to use it, you won't have the visibility and you won't be found. And obviously you're there, you want to be found because you want to be able to do business. And also you want that credibility that if you send a connection request to someone, they look at it and say, yes, yes, that person sounds credible. I can see a track record of their career. And oh, that's interesting. I could need that. Maybe not now, it might be a year's time, but yes, that person is well worth being in my network.
That's awesome. Like it says and speaks it all. You gave a whole overview of that. Now, what about the impact? How do you hope your business impact your clients or your community?
Oh, lots of ways. Like I put a post up actually the other day because LinkedIn have a social selling index. Okay, I'll put it in ordinary English. LinkedIn ranks us all, and I'm at the 1% of the
Mhm,
people ranked in my network. So that's
mhm.
very nice. And I put a post up about that and explaining how LinkedIn rank you. And this morning I got a private message which said, "You inspire me."
Wow.
And I was absolutely thrilled to be able to inspire that person, to be able to encourage that person. Because when people are inspired, they're motivated. And then when people are motivated, they do what needs to be done to get the results.
Yes, definitely. And we do feel that I think the last workshop that you did with us, we learned so much and you inspired me, which, immediately after the workshop with you, I changed a few things and I saw the results myself, and that's why
Great.
we're having a conversation here, hoping that we could impact more people in the world and to our listeners. Now, despite all that, I'm sure there are let's go on into the real talk. Every business owner will face this. How do you manage, some imposter syndrome or self-doubt or having burnout in your business?
Yeah, look, if anyone says that you don't feel good enough at times, you don't feel burnt out, etc., in my opinion, you're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like one thing I would think, the best way to build that confidence or to deal with that imposter syndrome is actually do. And you're a very good example. You were doing your summit. And I don't mean this in any disrespect, but I'm sure that little thing in your head, well, the person in your head was saying, this isn't going to work. Just stay in bed or do whatever.
Yes.
And you kept going.
Yeah.
And that is the most important thing. But what I would say, like we're all different in how we deal with things. In my case, I really feel preparation is very, very important. So if that little fella in your head or woman in your head is saying you can't do things, practice. The more you practice, the more you do, the more you build confidence. And then people will start asking you to do that thing that that little man or woman in your head said you couldn't do. So it really is, you have to take the actions to build that confidence, to build that resilience. So you keep going because everyone has it. It is perfectly natural. It is part of being human. And you're better off to have that little man and be human and not egotistical that I know it all. Like, I think most of us find it very off putting if someone says they know it all. And then, especially if they say they know it all, and then you find they don't. So just I would say, take action, practice, and do what you did with your summit. You kept going.
Exactly. Well, at the end of our talk later on, we will have a surprise. We can share something more.
Yeah.
So, what are you excited about? What's next for you, and what are you most excited about?
What I am really excited about, and I'm doing more and more, is speaking to people.
Mhm.
Because I'm teaching, I'm doing an awful lot of workshops and everything, because I find every time I do it, a business owner, and even on a Zoom call, and you can see that little light going, oh, that's how I solve that problem.
Mhm.
And because they're feeling now with the economy and everything is happening, and the online world is changing. Like, for example, if someone had a website a few years ago, you put all your effort into SEO. Now you go on to Google and you see AI first
Yeah,
and all these. So the landscape is changing. So, what I would say, really the important thing, I'm slightly losing my train of thought here, but to really keep going is the most important thing. And what really is my passion is when I actually see the light bulb moment of clients and them getting the results and them seeing this is worthwhile rather than this is a waste of time. And because business owners are so frustrated, or can be, that, oh, I have to have a website, I have to do LinkedIn, and I have to do my accounts, and I have to do all these things, where you can make it easy for them and they see the results is so motivating and it inspires me.
I agree. Transformation is really exciting.
Yeah, very
Very,
exciting.
very exciting, right? Whether it's little transformation, a shift, or just a big goal itself, it's just
Yeah,
super exciting.
yeah.
So tell me, or tell the viewers as well, and everyone listening, how can our audience connect with you and also support your work? And
Yeah, sorry about that phone.
what would be your final words of encouragement you would like to leave with our viewers?
Yeah. Sorry about the phone, everyone.
Okay.
Um, Now, firstly, to connect with me, you'll find me on LinkedIn, Rosemary O'Shaughnessy, and my website is digitalcontentmanager.ie. Um, Words of encouragement is, firstly, as Hannah would say, believe in yourself, number one. Then have a simple plan. Don't try to do it all. Do something, test it, and keep going. Like, you have to see, and what works, repeat, and take a deep breath, and what isn't working. There's nothing wrong about changing your plan because something isn't working. So focus on what does work, which is very important, because instead of having a to-do list, you want a list that is the list of things that is working.
Yeah.
So, can you delegate? Have you a trusted inner circle? Have you a network that will actually help you? And there's no shame in asking for help. None of us can do it all. It's very, very simple. And by having that network, you're going to have people who can actually help you. And, like, as your earlier question, if you were having a difficult or problem, if you have that right network, there you can get a lot of answers in those situations.
Yes, definitely. When you were going through that list, I was like, okay, check, check, check. Delegate,
Yeah,
check. To-do list. To-do list that works. Check. Okay.
yeah,
That I think that to-do list that works is a whole. We'll keep on processing that. It is not one to-do list, right? A to-do list that works is a forever reviewing that to-do list, I would say.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay. And thank you so much for being with us in this interview. And do join us for Rosemary's masterclass Stop Guessing. Is LinkedIn Premium Business worth it for entrepreneurs? This Wednesday. And also, Rosemary will be speaking with us at our Women Business Connect Vibe 2.0 Global Summit in September. And any last words you would like to say to our listeners?
No, I think it's absolutely brilliant that you're doing another summit, and well done, Hannah, because it really is. Go, I highly recommend you go, because we all need help in different areas. One person might decide that they need help with the mindset, so there's a day that'll help with all those kind of things. Or another person could be looking for help in specific skills, professional skills. And Hannah's offering both. And or most of us is a bit of both.
Yeah.
So those are my final word. I'd highly recommend everyone to go to the summit. It's a very, very exciting opportunity. And I'm also very excited about giving the workshop next Wednesday to explain about LinkedIn Premium.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon on Wednesday and more of you. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Hannah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.